How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. The next 10 days or so are going to be absolutely nuts. Why is that? Well, we have a lot of big events. Keep in mind, actually, on Inauguration Day is January 20th. We actually have the market closed. The stock market's going to be closed for MLK Day, which I thought was correct, and I just checked it. It is correct. That is pretty insane. So crypto is going to be the only thing open the day that Trump comes into office. He's probably going to make a speech. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about some of the other big things happening in the market, from something that just happened that wiped out, the wildfires in California, wiping out thousands of homes. How this affects Bitcoin, and it does affect Bitcoin. How it affects real estate. We'll also talk about the rabbit hole that's been happening with Trump and with Michael Saylor. We'll also be talking about a handful of other things too, including Michael Saylor buying Bitcoin tomorrow and some big economic events later this week. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. If you want to trade crypto, trading isn't right for everyone, but if you do want to trade, I like trading. I think you can do it well, and you can make a significant amount of money if you're not too greedy, if you know what you're doing. There's a link underneath the video to Blofin. You can sign up in just 2 minutes. They don't KYC, and you can start trading. You get extra bonus as well. When you use that link, you get access to this giveaway that they're doing where as time goes on, more and more people are trading, and there's a prize pool that will be unleashed to the masses. So the more you trade, the more that you get in this prize pool of 120,000 USDT. Also, I realize I've been listening to you guys. Trading isn't right for everyone. So if you want to join my Patreon, I just revamped this. I actually have someone working with me on it, spending a lot of time on it. I'm spending a ton of time on it as well. You can join the Patreon. You can join for free, but you don't really get anything because this is just something that Patreon added recently to allow anyone to listen to get updates. But if you want to join, you get access to our premium Discord, our private server. We're going to be doing full videos there. We're going to be talking about strategies, answering your questions, when to scale out of the market, how we would approach getting into the market if you're newer to the market. We're going to be talking about all that stuff. You can ask for videos as well. We'll make videos for the Patreon really regularly. So definitely check this out underneath the video. And I'm doing this with Joe, Crypto Joe, who just started on YouTube. He's been in crypto for over a decade. So if you want to check out his channel, I'll leave it linked underneath the video as well. He's going to start posting videos there as well. But yeah, he's just getting all the equipment. Definitely check him out. He's really knowledgeable, and yeah, someone that you definitely want to follow. We'll have him on the channel here in a little while too, but he's going to be running the Patreon with me. Okay, Michael Saylor just said he's thinking about the next green dot on SaylorTracker.com. They bought 9 weeks in a row, 10 weeks in a row, something like that. A lot of people are pointing out the fact that they've been slowing down their purchases. Since December 9, they've had smaller purchases each time. But I just averaged out the last 5 weeks of purchases, even the 1,000 Bitcoin that he bought last week, the 2,000 before that, 5,000 before that, and it accounted to about 9,000 Bitcoin a week, averaged out over the last 5 weeks. Say he did that over the next 52 weeks. That'd be 468,000 Bitcoin. I realize that the price will change, but just based on today's numbers. So people that are saying that he's not buying much anymore, still, if you just average it out a little bit, they're still buying a ton of Bitcoin. I don't think they're going to get anywhere close to 468,000 Bitcoin because I think there's going to be massive price appreciation. I could be wrong, but that would put them around 900,000 Bitcoin overall. A lot of people I see projecting that they might get like another 100,000, 200,000 Bitcoin. Who knows? We'll have to continue to monitor this, but they seem like they are trying to buy a lot. And it'll be interesting because if they buy more than 1,000 or 2,000, if they go back up to 5,000, 10,000, people have to rethink this negativity on MSTR and on them buying more Bitcoin. It's kind of like when you see a growth stock that starts to slow down, or maybe they even have a quarter of like negative growth or negative signups or something like that. The stock drops like massively. People get really bearish on it. But if they can re-accelerate the growth, if it's for something short term, like Netflix, they had stagnation in subscribers over one quarter. I believe this is when it happened. They fell down 72%, and since then they're up 340%. So imagine this, but with sentiment, right? I don't think MSTR necessarily has fallen that much comparatively, but imagine that with sentiment. People are going to be reinvigorated at the fact that MSTR is buying more. So pay attention to this tomorrow. We also know that people have just gone down the Bitcoin rabbit hole recently. First, Saylor said that he would advise Trump on Bitcoin if he asked him. Then Saylor had a conversation with Trump's son at Mar-a-Lago about Bitcoin. Then billionaire and son-in-law of Trump, Jared Kushner, starts following Saylor. New Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent meets with Cynthia Lummis. Scott Bessent just was reported as having up to $500,000 in a Bitcoin ETF. New Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick buys a stake in Tether. The dots are there. You just have to connect them. It's amazing how many people are now getting into Bitcoin, getting into crypto, tangled up in it, and they want Bitcoin to do well, right? A lot of these people are allocated towards Bitcoin. A lot of them make a lot more probably, and it's much more substantial just speaking positively about Bitcoin than even their stake in Bitcoin. Like what they own probably won't make as much difference to them over time as all the pro Bitcoin people that are like donating to them and supporting them in politics now. We also have some major economic news this week. On Tuesday, we have PPI and core PPI. On Wednesday, we have CPI and core CPI. This obviously is probably one of the most important things to be watching these days because people see that jobs look really good, right? And they're almost worried about it. You could see the market fall down on good jobs data because people are worried that if inflation continues up or just stays stagnant, and if jobs are good, then the Fed's not going to have to lower rates, which affects risk on stocks. So I think overall, it's great to see good jobs numbers. That means that we have a strong economy. People will continue to buy things from Amazon, they'll still be on Netflix. Like you can purchase a lot more when the economy is good and people feel more comfortable purchasing. So overall, that's good for the stock market, and it's also good for crypto because people have income so they can actually buy cryptos and they feel comfortable with the economy. But if we get good inflation numbers, I think that sends the market pumping because then we're in the Goldilocks scenario. We have a new president that's very pro-business, low tax. We have inflation coming down. We have a strong economy. It's kind of like the triple threat. So be on the lookout because Tuesday and Wednesday could send the market pumping up. So be ready for that. Pay attention. Like be at your computer those days. That's at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And then, of course, the following Monday is Inauguration Day. The stock market's closed. I don't know if it's always closed. I don't know if I paid that much attention to it in the past, but the market's closed. Crypto's going to be open. So anyone that's trying to gamble, that's trying to position themselves after like a Trump speech or after the inauguration is going to be in crypto. So be ready for some craziness that day. Keep in mind too, the strategic Bitcoin reserve is expected by some people on day one. So there's going to be insane volatility leading up to Inauguration Day. And then on Inauguration Day as well, there will be a lot of volatility with people trying to guess if there's a strategic Bitcoin reserve. If there's not, they're going to be manipulating the market. So yeah, the next 10 days will probably be pretty epic. Now, my heart goes out to everyone that's in California. The wildfires have been terrible, but I think it is important to realize that this kind of thing brings more people to Bitcoin, or it should at least. Real estate cannot be hacked like Bitcoin. It's tangible and safe. Well, look at the coastline here. These are multi-million-dollar homes, $20, $50 million homes on the beach in California, and they're just gone. So the fact is, a lot of people too don't have insurance for this. They were told that they don't need fire insurance or they can't get fire insurance or whatever it is. There are a lot of permits, as I understand too, that you need to get. So even if you have the money, maybe you can't build for a while, build your house back. Like real estate can be great And part of that is just that you're using leverage to be able to get appreciation, like 4x, 5x appreciation on something that appreciates 3 or 4% a year. So it goes up in value because of the debasement and money supply. And it's great too because, you know, you can have a house that's beautiful. But the fact is, real estate's not always safe. From something like a wildfire to some kind of, I don't know, some kind of secular trend or some kind of economic downturn, or AI disrupts a major industry in your area. Like, the fact is, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. Even something as little as like your next door neighbor, or as close as your next door neighbor just like treats his house like crap and it looks really bad. That can lower your house's value. So I think this is why, what I've seen, a lot of real estate people are turning to Bitcoin, because one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. It doesn't matter where it is. You can move it across the world in seconds. It holds value. It can't be debased. So I've seen a lot of people turn away from real estate recently and go towards Bitcoin. I think this is going to continue to happen over time, which almost makes you more bullish on both assets, because if a lot of real estate people are going over to Bitcoin, well, then there's less people trying to get their hands on real estate. And then also there are more people that are trying to get their hands on Bitcoin. So you might be able to get a slightly better deal on real estate. And at the same time, Bitcoin's being bid up. So it's kind of interesting, an interesting scenario. But I do see more people turning to something like Bitcoin that you just buy and then you never have to deal with again. Like, you just buy, put it in your cold storage, and then just wait until you want to sell it. There are no taxes on it until you sell it either. So I can see more people being sucked into the Bitcoin black hole. And you know, something that's a little bit odd, I know a lot of people are moving from real estate to Bitcoin. I'm actually not moving from Bitcoin to real estate, but I'm actually buying some real estate. Part of that is the volatility in my business. You know, having something that comes in as a weekly income, or not weekly, but monthly income, I think is good psychologically. And I think even if you have a large bit of Bitcoin and you also have a steady job, the fact is, like, some real estate or something that's diversified away from Bitcoin can like help you just psychologically, because your Bitcoin's going to grow to be a large part of your portfolio if you don't sell it over time. So having something outside of Bitcoin that maybe you can sell or leverage or take from or get some passive income from, so you don't have to sell your Bitcoin, I think can be beneficial too. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video, though. I know I threw out a lot at you. This is going to be a crazy week. I think we're going to see a lot of volatility. We saw a lot of volatility last week, going up to 103,000. Keep in mind, we were at 103,000 last week. That was, what, Tuesday? We were at 103,000, 102,000, dumped down $12,000 in 2 days. So yeah, be ready for some volatility. I think there's going to be more volatility as we get further into the bull run. So be ready for anything. Again, if you want to trade crypto, there's the link to Blofin underneath the video. Also, if you want to sign up for the Patreon, check it out underneath, along with the link to Joe's channel as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.